ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਸ਼ਲੋਕ ਸੰਤ ਉਦਰਣ ਦਿਆਲੰ ਆਸਰੰ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਕੀਰਤਨੈ ਨਿਰਮਲੰ ਸੰਤ ਸੰਗੇਣ ਓਟ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ੁਰੈ। ਚੰਦਨ ਚੰਦ ਨ ਸਰਦ ਰੁੱਤ ਮੂਲ ਨਾ ਮਿਟੇ ਕਾਮ। ਸੀਤਲ ਥੀਵੈ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਜਪੰਦੜੋ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਪੌੜੀ। ਚਰਨ ਕਮਲ ਕੀ ਓਟ ਉਦਰੇ ਸਗਲ ਜਨ ਸੁਣ ਪ੍ਰਤਾਪ ਗੋਵਿੰਦ। ਨਿਰਭਉ ਭੈ ਮਨ ਟੋਟ ਨਾ ਆਵੈ ਮੂਲ। ਸੰਚਿਆ ਨਾਮ ਧਨ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਈਐ ਵੱਡੈ ਪੁੰਨ। ਆਠ ਪਹਿਰ ਹਰ ਧਿਆਏ ਹਰ ਜਸ ਨਿਤ ਸੁਨ। ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਸਿਓ ਸੰਗ ਪਾਈਐ ਵੱਡੈ ਪੁੰਨ। ਆਠ ਪਹਿਰ ਹਰ ਧਿਆਏ ਹਰ ਜਸ ਨਿਤ ਸੁਨ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's Pavan Pitra Hukamnaama Sahib is on Ang 709, blessed to us by Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Paatshah. In this slok today, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah saying to us, Sant Udaran Diyalang. Paatshah Ji saying, can Sant Udaran Diyalang. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that ਦਿਆਲੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, that ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, that is the form of compassion, that ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ's mercy. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੰਤ ਉਦਰਣੰ, the saints are saved. ਉਦਰਣੰ means to be saved. ਸੰਤ ਉਦਰਣੰ by who? ਦਿਆਲੰ, by the mercy of ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ. When did that happen? They said it's when, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਸਰੰ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਕੀਰਤਨੈ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ when the saints took the asra, the support of Vaheguru Ji's, of Gopal. Gopal's a name for Vaheguru Ji. Go meaning dharti, Pal meaning to protect, the protector of this entire creation. Kirtana, Kirtana means to praise. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah is saying those that took the support of Kirtan, of praising Vaheguru Ji, they are the ones that actually became the saints. They are the ones that are saved by Vaheguru Ji. Vaheguru Ji's mercy flows into them, and then in that way a Sant is that one that constantly remains in the praise of Vaheguru Ji. Never will you hear from their mouth where they'll curse Vaheguru Ji. Never will you hear from their mouth questioning Vaheguru Ji to say why. Never will you hear from their mouths to say, hey Vaheguru Ji, why did you do this to me? No, but constantly it will be the praise of that one, no matter what situation comes into their life. Sometimes we might say, yes, that's easier said than done. Yes, maybe those that haven't experienced much in their life and they've got everything given to them on a plate and everything's all nice and cushy for them in their life. Everything's going well for them. It's easy for them to then turn around and praise Vaheguru Ji. Nahi pyareo, this is saying that a Sant is that one that is saved by Vaheguru Ji's mercy, because no matter what comes into their life, no matter what challenge, no matter what situation it is in life, but they still remain in the praise of Vaheguru Ji. They still say, Hey Vaheguru Ji, that Tera kiya meetha lage. That whatever you are doing is sweet. Tera kiya, tera kita hoya, tera whatever you are doing. Meaning doing in which way, Sangat Ji? Whatever your will is, however you have made this creation to be. Tera kiya. Kiya means, Sangat Ji, if you look into that deeper, we often say these words and we say them so quick. And we don't always reflect upon them. But the word kiya, what isn't it that Vaheguru Ji is doing? Everything is from that one. Tera kiya. If you think now, Sangat Ji, who is it that is making it possible for us to even be able to speak, to be able to listen, to be able to do anything, Sangat Ji, to pick up this hand, this move our body? Who is it? Tera kiya. It's within your will, Vaheguru Ji, that we are able to do all of these things, because you've made it possible. Tera kiya. But then the most difficult part of it all is that within your doing, within your will, that meetha lage, that everything remains for me, whatever I experience, because it's under your will that it remains sweet for me. The opposite of this is what? The opposite of that is living in non-acceptance. When we're not able to accept a situation for what it is, and that is the leading cause, then it stems from that. When we get frustrated, we get angry. We're not able to accept a situation, it causes frustration. We're not able to accept a situation, it causes anger. But how long can somebody remain angry for? Remember, anger in itself is an emotion that takes up a lot of energy. And an emotion that takes up and consumes so much energy, it's not something that we're able to uphold for long periods of time. Eventually, that anger, there's times when we express that anger. Somebody shouts. You might be burning from inside with that anger, but it's an emotion that consumes so much energy. So it's not possible to maintain that for long periods of time. And what happens to that energy eventually? It becomes that behind it all is non-acceptance. It becomes this sadness. From that sadness, it eventually turns into depression. Because we've pressed something. Sangat Ji, we've pressed something deep inside of us that we haven't been able to accept. And from the non-acceptance of that, it gives, eventually, we run out of energy. Because in that mode, there's no energy then, there's no want, there's no desire to do anything, to get out of even bed. Sangat Ji, and that's all comes from the opposite of tera kiya meetha laga. But this is what a Sant is. A Sant can never reach that place, because a Sant has been saved by Vaheguru Ji, because the Sant took the asara, took the support of kirtan, of praise, of always saying that Vaheguru Ji, this is your will, that you are so great. Look, and to do that is so difficult. Their Padshah Ji says, Kende nirmalang sant sangain. Kende nirmalang. How can we become immaculate? How can we cleanse ourselves? How can we cleanse ourselves from all the dirt that has been accumulated within us? Remember, we might think that, well, I've got no dirt inside of me. The moment that we feel the burn of some form of jealousy, any moment that we feel that, हाँ ये तो किद्दां आ गया, ये किद्दां चल गया, ये तो किद्दां हो गया, इन्ने किद्दां कर लिया, how was that person able to do that? मैं उत्थे ही रह गया, I've still remained where I am. Look at them. How did they end up buying such a house, a car? How did they end up accomplishing that, doing this, getting to that point? How did they get so many likes on Instagram? How did they become so popular? Why is it they are, how comes everybody is following them? Sangat ji, whatever that is, pyaro, it's that burning inside. And Paat ji talks about that burning inside it in this very Hukamnaama Sahib today as well. But Nirmalang, how do we take all of that burning away? That is burning us from inside. I've just used one example there, which is jealousy. Jealousy, Sangat ji, we all know it's something that none of us wants it, do we? But it occurs. But it happens. It happens because of where it comes still from non-acceptance. We've not been able to accept somebody else achieving something that we haven't got there yet. We haven't achieved that yet. So from that, we're in the opposite of tera kiya meetha lage. Then, Sangat ji, we start burning from inside. So Paatshah ji says that there's a law. There is a law to if you're burning from inside. What is that law? And I was having a conversation with some beautiful Gurseks a few days ago on a Zoom meeting. And Sangat ji is saying that Gurbani hai ki mere sache Paat ji di Bani ta o a Guru Granth Sahib ji Paat ji's Bani is that it takes us to those places to open our mind up to realizing that everything that Vaheguru, to every little thing, there is an effect of that. And whatever effect comes from that, who's in control of that, that is Vaheguru. But Guru Granth Sahib ji makes us aware of the effect that is going to come from something. So Sangat ji, Paat ji saying the effect is where good cannot come to somebody. That's the effect. But what is the cause of good not coming to somebody's mind? Not being anywhere near their mind. Good could be, Sangat ji, being inside, being at peace, being cool from inside. And what is the cause of that? Paat ji says the cause of that is what? Kande jis andar hove taat parai tisda kade na hovi pala. Paat ji saying kande the cause of that is jis andar, maaf karna na hove, the other way around, jis andar taat parai hove. Kande those that have parai means others, taat meaning jealousy. Those that have jealousy for others within their mind. And it could be very subtle. It might not be outright. We might actually say that I'm not a jealous person. But Sangat ji, it could be in so many forms. Somebody lives in chronic pain themselves. They might have a back, a problem with their back. They constantly suffer with back problems. I know many of people within my own circle. Sometimes they have days where it becomes so difficult to even walk. It brings tears to their eyes because the pain is so immense. And Sangat ji, and then somebody else, they've got the same issues, but something happens, they get better. And even though you don't see yourself as a person that is a jealous person, but sometimes these things are so subtle. Something will arise inside. This thought will say that, ye kidda theek ho gaye? How did they get better? I'm still like this. What's going on? And then Sangat ji, then there's that little thought inside. But Paat ji saying, and here Paatshah ji is not, always remember that there is absolute no negativity in Gurbani. Zero. Every word is filled with compassion. So when Satguru ji brings to light for us a law of Vaheguru Ji. They're saying, Jis andar taat parai hova. Pacha Ji isn't saying, you nasty, horrible person. They're not looking down at that person. Because my Pacha Ji is love. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਸ ਅੰਦਰ ਤਾਤ ਪਰਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਿਸ ਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੀ ਭਲਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ good cannot come to them, those that have jealousy for others within their mind. And Satguru Ji Pacha Ji is obviously not being horrible here to us. No, they're not putting us down. They're just telling us how this creation of Vaheguru Ji's works. It's the creator's game, but there's a rule to that game, and one of the rules to that game is if you've got that burning jealousy inside, it could be for a few seconds, but whilst you're in that moment, it's called fire, it's burning us. How can fire give us peace of mind and cool us from inside whilst we're in that? Look, it's burning us from inside. It's non-acceptance again. In non-acceptance, this inside is just in turmoil. It's all over the place. But Sangat Ji, then in that way, how can good come to them? That in itself, contemplate that. How can that bring goodness, that thought? But the moment we are in acceptance, Sangat Ji, there will be that acceptance that this is where I am at this present moment, and that is Vaheguru Ji's will. Even this pain has come under Vaheguru Ji's will, because it's been possible under Vaheguru Ji's laws, and in that way, the moment I accept it, I'm in love. Because in love, there's acceptance. In love, there is tera kiya meetha lage. And that will heal us. That brings peace to our mind. That's what it means to be cool. A lot of people want to be cool nowadays. So did you type in cool in WhatsApp or somewhere, and it'll come up with the emoji, with that little emoji with the sunglasses looking cool. But Sangat Ji, even if you look at that from the outside, cool was seen to be as someone not just wearing sunglasses and looking cool. It was because they had this coolness inside. They were chilled. They didn't really let things faze them, bother them. And that's where that even came from, that word when we called someone cool. They were cool not because of the way they looked, because of the way they acted. Because they were just chilled out. It's alright, don't worry. But Sangat Ji, in this realm of this growth of spirituality, to be cool, Sangat Ji, it means that I'm in acceptance. I see your will to be sweet, and that's called love. And that's why Pacha says that you can't call that one an ashik, you can't call that person a lover that is only okay with something when something goes okay in their life to what they perceive to be good and okay. And I'm saying good, I'm saying God, that's all good, wow, thank you. When something is going my way, when my expectations and hopes are being fulfilled, then I say to God, oh, that's great, you're so great. Then I'm in praise of God. But then Pacha is saying, kende changa kar manne, kende par mande manda hoye. But when my hopes aren't fulfilled, when my expectations aren't met, then what happens? Then I say, that was really bad, what's just happened. You know, if now I am experiencing some form of, I'm going through some form of bodily chronic pain. And Sangat, one day I was talking about pains and I thought, oh, you know, I think I went off on a tangent. But that day I ended up getting a message saying that, you know, living in pain and still then not letting it frustrate me and still being kind to others during that. He said that really related to me. He said, thank you. So we often, somebody that lives their life pain free on a bodily level, they find it difficult to be able to relate to somebody that does. For them, it's like this is how everyone is. But there's so many people in this world today living with some sort of chronic pain. But कहने मंदे मंदा हुए, love is not that. Is when I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want this to happen. So then I say, आद माड़ा होया. ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ हैं ना माड़ा होया. Something happens to someone, माड़ा होया. This is bad. But ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੰਦੇ ਮੰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ. Then you call that what you, when it didn't meet your expectation that I shouldn't have this pain or whatever it is in your situation, Sangaji, in life, and then you say manda, this is bad. And I call that bad. What I'm saying is that your will, Vaheguru Ji, is bad. That this happened under your will. Yes, there's a cause to it, but the effect is this. And the effect is you, Vaheguru Ji, comes from you, under your laws. And if I say that is bad, then that's not love. पाँच से आशिक एहो ना आखिए जे लेखा वर्ता सोए पाँच कहते, you can't call that person a lover if you're getting into these calculations of bad, that good. No, I don't like that one. No, Sangaji, no, that's not love. Acceptance is love. In acceptance, Baji is saying that it's just to finish that off. Jis andar taat parai hova. So we at least focus on one thing and we finish it off. Jis andar taat parai hova. That when you've got that jealousy inside, that in itself it has, that's now the effect and the cause of that will be, it will cause tension in our system, in our body. It will bring about an uneasy feeling inside. So feeling uneasy and having that burning, that in itself is suffering, isn't it? So when parents think, how can good happen to them? Because it's just the natural effect of what jealousy causes. It's a natural effect, Sangat Ji, of when you feel in that mode and how you become mentally unstable and you feel frustrated. That's just what it is. So, but the other opposite side of that is, Sangat Ji, when you're in acceptance, you're cool from inside. Being acceptance is really being cool. So, देखिए पातशाह जी की कहते ने, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Patsha Ji, Sangat Ji, this Hukamnaama is like right in like random in the middle of this ang, so it gets really difficult to find it. Nirmalang Sant Sangain, Patsha Ji saying that in the company of saints, that what happens is we start to become nirmal. So that filth of little, even subtle jealousy that's inside of us, in the presence of, when we're in the presence of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, when we do Sangat of Guru Arjan Dev Ji. How do we do Sangat of Guru Arjan Dev Ji? Two ways. We listen to their life experiences, what we refer to as itihas, what what has happened, and when we read their Bani. So when we now reflect on Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji's own life, what will it do? It will make us, it will cleanse us, it will take away our jealousy, and it will take us into a place of acceptance. Even no matter how much pain we're in physically, it will take away that filth of questioning, why me? This is bad. मंदे मंदा हुए आ की हो गया इतना नहीं सी होना चाहिए मेरे नाल इन्नी तकलीफ मैनू वाहिगुरू, why you giving me so much pain? No, nahi Sangat Ji, not in that way. When I look at Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji's life, it makes me nirmal, it makes me nirmalang, it brings purity to me, because it takes me into a place of acceptance, of then it teaches me how to say, no matter how much pain I'm in, I'm in love because I accept it, because it's under your will. Whatever it has caused it, whether it was an accident, whether it was because of the type of mattress I sleep on, whatever it was that has brought it, but the outcome is, Vaheguruji, under your will. And because it's under your will, I'm in love with you. So it's tera kiya meetha lage. Pyareo ot nanak parmeshwar hai. Kende because Guru Arjan Dev Ji Ji's life will teach us how to take the support of Parmeshwar, of Vaheguru Ji. That's what Guru Arjan Dev Ji Ji is saying here. Kende chandan chandana sarda rut. Chandan Sangat Ji, sandalwood. It was used even in Ayurvedic medicine to help treat. They're saying it would bring balance to the mind, just the aroma of it. So making oil out of sandalwood, and they said, and then they said to then inhale the aroma of that sandalwood. They said that it brought that a sense of peace, a balance to your mind if somebody was experiencing any form of mental disorder. And these things, that some of them that have even got elements of Sangdiji, that a lot of studies have been done as well, the effect that these type of things can have upon you. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pach is saying, kende chandan, chand, even the moon. There's so many studies that have been done even with the moon, how the moon actually affects our whole system. We all know that the gravitation force of the moon, it has such an effect on, look at the oceans, on the tide of it'll be completely different when it's full moon, of how it affects then the actual oceans. And we are water, we've got approximately 70% water within our own systems, so it can affect us as well in that way. The moon can. So people say that we can then on full moon night, that we've got to be very conscious that we should focus even more on that day of meditating, because of the effect it can actually have, because the moon affects our whole system. And then Pachikane chandan chand na sarda rot. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pach saying, yes, these things might have an element of an effect on your system. But they're saying na. Not even the sandalwood, not even the moon, not even if it's the cold season, even the winter. Calm, you know that burning that is inside of you that we've all just discussed. The burning like jealousy, the burning like not accepting our own self if somebody's going through pain, if somebody's been diagnosed with some form of disease, whatever it may be, that calm, it's burning us from inside. These things cannot take it away, be it the moon, be it sandalwood, be it the winter season. Not mool Sangaji means not at all, not even a little bit. Mool has two meanings within Gurbani. The word mool can mean origin, root, or it can mean at all, not at all. So that's what it means here. Mool na mittai kaam. Kaam means the burning. Mittai means to be erased. That burning is not erased at all, Sangatji, with these things. Kende seetal thive nanaka japandado har naam. Parpacha ji saying, kende seetal thive nanaka. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachi saying, kende how can you become seetal? Meaning, how can you become cool, Sangat Ji? Everyone wants to be cool, don't they? They don't want to be known as being uptight. They don't want to be known as somebody that is always angry and frustrated. We all want to be known as being cool. Pachi says, how do you really become cool? Seetal. Seetal means to be calm, cool, select and shant from inside. Thive nanaka. How? Japandado har naam. When you japandado, when you meditate on the name of God. Pero let's look at this. When we see Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji's life themselves, how was it? For them, they were in constant praise. How was it that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji remained completely calm from inside? Because they were truly in love with Vaheguru Ji. They lived their life in constant acceptance, meditating on saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru, wow, saying wow to everything, to Vaheguru Ji. Sangat Ji, meditating on the name of God. How? When that time came, when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji was called by Jahangir, summoned by Jahangir, and then eventually when Jahangir handed Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji over to Chandu Shah, to Chandu Shah, and then Chandu Shah and Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji was kept in the Haveli of Chandu Shah. Haveli, Sangat Ji, is almost like a fortress where you have an open area and then you have your boundary and you'll have a wall or something all around that area. So a fortress is obviously more so built to protect you when you're in battle, but Haveli is a similar concept, but just with it could be a small little wall around there, just telling you that this is my area, and you'll have a lot of open space within there. So you'll have your house built in there, but you'll have a lot of open area there. And that's where Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji was kept, Chandu Shah. Because Jahangir said that because you didn't accept any of the things from us, that you will be tortured. But who did that torture happen under? He happened under the instructions of Chandu Shah. Decided what would come, what torture would be given to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha. But what does it mean, Sangat Ji, to be cool? What does it mean to be Sital Thive Nanaka Japandaro Har Naam, to be meditating on God's name and to be cool? What does Tera Kiya actually mean? Meetha Laga. When Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha, the first thing that Chandu Shah said, that if you're not going to accept, look at this. He's inside got that calm, Sangat Ji, he's got that burning from inside. What is he burning with? That how dare you not accept? How dare you not accept my daughter's rishta to be wedded to your son Har Gobind? Because the rishta was done, Sangat Ji, and then because the Sangat said to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pach to break that tie. For whatever reasons, you can watch other videos to find out, but because that's not my topic here, it's to explain what it means to be cool. That Sital Thive Nanaka, Sangat Ji, that but Chandu Shah inside's got that burning inside. He's burning, saying that you refused, then you broke that rishta that was done between my daughter and your son, which Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Padshah. And he said that I'm gonna bring, so to soothe myself, to soothe my burning, I'm gonna torture you. And how am I gonna burn you? He said that it's Jeth ta Mahina Sangat Ji is around June. So in India around June time, it's plus 40 degrees. Over here, when it gets about 24, 25 degrees in UK, in England, we are struggling to be under the sun. When it's not cloudy day and it's a clear sky, and the sun is beaming on us and it's about 25, 26 degrees, we struggle like anything. My own wife, she's come up with with this eczema on all her neck, has been burning because of the sun. It's all red. She can't go out now in the sun unless she covers it up. But look at that. So again, that's with about 23, 24 degrees. So the first thing that Chandu Shah said to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha is, you're going to sit all day in this under the hot burning sun, 40 plus degrees. You're going to be sat out with no shelter, with nothing, in no shade. You're going to be sat where there's no shade, without any water. But Pyareo, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji sat there. And Chandu Shah sitting in a cool room with shade, with a special room that's made where it's cool, drinking cool water. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha's got no water, has got no shade, but is sitting under the burning sun, 40 plus degrees. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji is singing what? Is singing Tera Kiya Meetha Laga. They're saying Tera Kiya. Sangat what does it mean to be in love with God? What does it mean to love, to live, maaf karna, in acceptance? Acceptance is this. Is saying, what is praise? What is acceptance? What are all of these things? What is love? What is it? It's Tera Kiya. It's saying that whatever you are doing, Sangat Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji is saying, this is where we get confused. It's not that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji is saying the torture that they are bringing to me, for them to do that, it's okay. It does not mean that. It doesn't make it right and okay what they are doing, what their actions are. It doesn't justify their actions. It doesn't make that right. Sangaji, it's not saying that that's okay that you are doing this. Tera Kiya is saying that Vaheguru Ji, sitting here under the sun, I'm still in love with you, and I accept that the nature of the sun is to give heat. And in this month of Jait, the positioning of the earth where it sits in India to the position of the sun, it brings about these type of temperatures like 40 plus degrees. So that's your will, Vaheguru Ji. And then the nature of how experiencing 40 plus degrees on this body is that from the outside to the skin, it starts to burn the body. It starts to dehydrate the body. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji is saying, because this is your nature, Vaheguru Ji, because this is your creation, for that temperature to do that to this body, that's why, because I'm in love with you, Vaheguru Ji, that's why I sing Tera Kiya. It's your doing. That's what 40 degree brings upon this body. Meetha laga, it's sweet to me. That's what it means, Sangaji, to be cool. Because Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pachaji was cool from inside. The mind is at so much ease because they're in acceptance. Being in acceptance means that you are cool. Sangaji, if somebody gets diagnosed with cancer and they may be young, but the whole world is saying, Hai, ha, ek hi ho gaya, yaad rakhiyo, pyareo, somebody that lives in the acceptance and in the will of God, never will an expression like ha, hai come out of their mouth. Ha or hai kadi vi ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੁਖ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਸ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਰਾਜ਼ਾ ਨੂੰ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਨੇ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੀਤਲ ਥੀਵੇ ਨਾਨਕਾ। ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, over there never will you hear expressions like that come out of their mouth, because for them life in that moment is wow, is still wow. Why? It's because it's from you. If somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, Sangaji, and it could be terminal, the whole world might be saying, ha, ki ho gaya, bahut mada hoya, so bad, so bad. But they could be in immense physical pain. They may not be able to eat anymore. They might be shriveling away, Sangaji. Their whole body might be in pain. But because if they're in acceptance, and they're okay from inside, when somebody is okay from where their mind is concerned and they're cool from inside, Sangat Ji, then even when you look at them, then you'll say, cancer ta hai, par ye ta chaddi kala ch hai. But look, they're in forever rising spirits. Then you don't even it's difficult to even look at it in a negative way, the whole situation. And it actually makes it all okay. Because the whole thing is, ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਠੀਕ ਆ. ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮਹਿਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ, ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਆਪਣੇ ਕਾਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਪਰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਈਰਖਾ ਦੀ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੜ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ. ਜਦਾ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਸੁੱਖ ਹੋਣ ਸਰੀਰ ਦਾ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਰੋਗਤਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਵੇ, ਪਰ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁਖੀ ਹੈ, ਦੁੱਖ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਦੁੱਖ, suffering is that when our mind is in non-acceptance, that is true suffering. Somebody could be withering away with cancer, but because they're not suffering in their mind, they are not suffering. Somebody could have good health, but because they are suffering in their mind, they are suffering. Guru Arjan, look at that. The person sitting inside is burning from inside. But the person, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji maaf karna, is the word person doesn't just sit right with Guru Arjan Dev Ji. This is Guru Arjan Dev Ji that there's no words to describe, is sitting in that burning sun. But they are cool, because they're in acceptance, because they know this is the will of Vaheguru Ji's nature to do this. And then pyareo, and then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji is dehydrating. But even that is tira kiya, that this is, you're doing that without any water in this heat. That this is what happens to the body, you dehydrate. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji saying, because it's within your will, it's your nature, that it's within your laws of creation, that's what happens, because you've created that to happen, then tera kiya mithala, it's sweet to me, because I'm in love. प्यारियों देखो, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji did so he starts to burn more now, because it's not working. He's still seeing Guru Arjan Dev Ji smiling. He still sees Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji singing, doing kirtan, and then he thinks, okay, I need to step it up because it's not working. So then he gets a big tavi out, he gets a plate out. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਤਵੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦਾ ਬਣਾਈਦਾ ਅੱਜ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਤਵੀ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਹਰਮੰਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਰਗੇ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਤਵੇ ਨੇ. So he gets this big plate out now, and then on that he ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਅੱਗ ਬਾਲੀ. He gets wood, he lights that wood, gets the fire going, heats up the plate, and asks our Sache Pacha Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji to sit on that burning plate, pyareo. And as Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji's got a gashara on, they haven't got anything on at the top because he still wants the sun to burn them. Utte nahi chagga paya mere Pacha Ji ne. And kashara paya hoya ya, and sitting in a kashara on this hot burning plate. And as they're sitting on this hot burning plate, Sangat Ji, as that plate is burning Pacha Ji Sarir, as it's burning the skin of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Sache Pacha Ji, what is Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji singing? The saying Tera Kiya, this is your doing, Vaheguru Ji. They're not saying it's okay what they are doing. They are saying that the nature of what you have created fire to be, that fire, what it does is it creates heat. Put onto metal, it heats the metal. And then if anybody's skin, it's the law. It's your law, Vaheguru Ji. And then if your skin, chamdi, is to then touch that metal that is hot, it will burn it. It will create blisters. And your skin will stick to that metal. And pyare, all that is happening to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paach Ji, the skin is burning. They've got blisters on their legs. And pyare, but because it's all in Vaheguru Ji's will that happens. That's how you've created it to happen, because Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji is in love. They say, Tera kiya. This is the way you've done it. This is the way you've made it. Meetha lage. It's sweet to me because I'm in love. Meetha lage. Pyare Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji, when they see that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha is saying, is that Seetal Thive Nanaka, this is what it means to be cool. When they see that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha, so he's burning more to see that, yes, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha's body has started to burn and has started to stick to that plate. But why is their face still okay? Why is their face still radiant? Why are they still smart? Why are they still singing? He's burning more sitting in a cool room. So he said, you know what? He said, heat up some sand, mitti reta nu garm karke, ta oh mitti pao Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha de sees uppar. He said, heat up that sand and pour it over Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji's seas. And at that point, pyareo, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha got a little wrap of the star on their seas. They heat it up. And then they pour that hot sand. Tatti reta mere dhan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha de seas uppar pai gayi. They shovel it and they get the shovel and they're shoveling it, pouring it on top of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji's, that it was at the start, but the mitti, the sand burnt through the star. The star, there was nothing left of it. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji started to burn some of the case. The case came down and it's pouring through their seas, through their head, burning them now all over. And now, because the sand has burned all their entire body, this is a picture that hasn't been painted, because you don't see that in the painted pictures when Guru Arjan Dev Ji is sitting on that tatti tavi. But pyareo, when it was the law of hot sand to burn the skin and create blisters. Pyareo, kisi ne likhya, somebody's wrote, Rom uppar page shale. This is Mukho Sina Uchari Ji. Rom uppar page shale. They said, but not once did you say hi. Did you say ha? Did you say see? In pain, in non-acceptance, you still sang. Tera kiya. It's your kiya, it's your doing, Vaheguru, for hot sand to burn. That's what it does. So, meetha lage, it's sweet. It's sweet because you are sweet, Vaheguru Ji. They're accepting it. They're in acceptance. That, pyareo, Seetal Thive Nanaka. They're cool. When Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji got up from the Tatti Tavi, the skin of their legs had stuck to the plate. When Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji walked away from that plate, there was no skin left on their legs, pyareo. They had stuck to the plate. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pacha Ji walked away saying, Tera kiya meetha lage. That's your nature, Vaheguru Ji. Seetal thive nanaka. Guru Arjan Dev Ji was cool. See how they will make us nirmalang sad sangain, that Sant sangain, nirmalang Sant sangain. See how we can become immaculate through this. Pyareo, Nanaka Japandado Har Naam. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Pach continued to meditate on Vaheguru Ji's name. How did they meditate on Vaheguru Ji's name? Everything that was happening, they saw Vaheguru Ji in it. They saw Kiya Tera Kiya. They could see that Vaheguru Ji, it's your nature to you've created it so that hot sand burns. They could see Vaheguru Ji's design in it. It's from you. That's how they were meditating on Vaheguru Ji's name. Japandado har naam paudi charan kamal ki ot udre sagal jan. Whenever we take the support of the lotus feet of Vaheguru Ji in that way, like Guru Arjan Dev Ji Padshah Ji did, udre sagal jan, they said then all of those that become the servant of Vaheguru Ji will be saved. Kane sun pratap Govind, as you listen to the glory of Vaheguru Ji, nirpau pe man, your mind will become fearless. Tot na ave mool, there is no shortage at all in your life. Tot means shortage. Mool means at all. Na ave mool sanchya naam tan. When you accumulate, save up the wealth tan, wealth naam of God's name. Sant janasyo sang paiye vadde pun. We only get to have the sangat, the company of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Padshah, the Sant of all Sants, if vadde pun, with great fortune. Aat pahar har tyaaye. Aat pahar, the 8 sections of the day, meaning every moment, every breath, meditate on God. Har jas nit sun, always listen to the praise of Vaheguru Ji. Sun, listen, nit, constantly, every moment. Sangat Ji, these Hukamnaama that are blessed to us from Sri Darbar Sahib are helping to reshape my life. And Sangat Ji, मैं हाथ जोड़ के अरदास करदा मेरे सतगुरु जी दे अगे, that whoever Sangat Ji is burning from inside, that is listening to these words, that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Padshah Ji's life, that you do Sangat of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, you go into the company of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Pyareo, that Nirmalang Sant Sangain, go into the today, no matter how much you're suffering and something's burning you from inside, today sit with Guru Arjan Dev Ji, sit with them, do their darshan from inside and sit with them in that heat, and they will make us nirmal, they will make us immaculate, they will purify us, they will take us to Tera Kiya Meetha Lagay, Har Naam Padarat Nanak Mangay. Sangat Ji, let's become cool. Seetal Thive Nanaka. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.